Wheels for Hope cares by helping to end homelessness. The organization works with other nonprofits such as Genesis Home, which provides housing and support services to foster independence. Genesis Home referred Ebony to Wheels for Hope. She received a 1995 Honda Accord from Wheels for Hope in December. Ebony has 2 children and spent 2 hours a day on the bus before receiving her car. The executive director of Genesis Home, Ryan Furman, joins me now. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So 2014 marks the 25th anniversary of Genesis Home, right?
That's right. So we're very excited about our anniversary this year. It's, our organization started in the late 1980s thanks to a small group of committed volunteers, and here in 2014 we're serving more families than we've ever served before in our history.
So tell me exactly what you do.
So we are a shelter for homeless families. So everyone at Genesis Home has at least one child. Most of our families are single parents with children. Most come in with either no job or underemployed. So making sure that medical conditions are stabilized and getting folks connected to employment and other income resources is really one of our first priorities, and then getting people into housing.
And what part of the community do you serve?
Anyone that meets the federal definition of homelessness. So we are in downtown Durham, and so most of our families are single female heads of household, and unfortunately the demand for shelter exceeds the supply in Durham. So we actually have a waiting list for families to get in. So we are really trying to work our hardest to get families into housing as quickly as possible just because of that need.
So what are some of the barriers that homeless families are facing?
That's a great question. So, transportation is actually a very real barrier for our families. So not all jobs are on the bus line. Even if jobs are on the bus line, sometimes it can take an incredible, a very long amount of time to get there. Unemployment and underemployment. A lot of folks don't realize that at the federal minimum wage, if you work a full-time job, you still only make about $1,000 a month. And given fair market rents in this community, it's very hard to make ends meet. Another challenge is just the lack of affordable housing in our community. So that's something we have to talk to with our elected officials over and over again, just to kind of bring the point home.
And I would imagine one unplanned thing, someone getting sick, someone getting hurt, can just throw everything off.
That's exactly right. So, the largest, reason for personal bankruptcy in America is unpaid medical bills. So, it can just be an accident. It can be, your boyfriend you're in an abusive relationship. It can be any one thing. A lot of folks just don't have much money in the bank, and that can start a downward spiral that might lead to Genesis Home.
Tell me about your partnership with Wheels for Hope and how it's helped your clients.
It's been great because we provide follow-up supportive services to our families that we place in permanent housing, and so when those families are stabilized and in their own apartments, many of them continue to have an ongoing need for transportation. The bus isn't working out. The bus might not go to their place of business, and so we offer the possibility of connecting folks to Wheels for Hope as kind of a carrot to make sure that our families stay in touch with us and that they continue to maintain their housing. If they do continue to maintain their income, then we can make a referral to Wheels for Hope and make sure that family has reliable transportation. So it's been a real win-win for us and for our families.
And it must be so rewarding to talk with someone who is in Genesis Home, who moves on and gets their own wheels, just to see how well they're doing.
You can see the pictures here with Ebony. Folks are just so excited to kind of have their own car, have their own transportation, and it's just it's great to see folks be successful like that.
I would imagine that you need a lot of community support.
Absolutely. So, the government provides about one-third of our funding, and we really rely on individuals, the faith community, local businesses to do what they can. So those donations, those in-kind gifts, the volunteer hours we get from the community, we couldn't do it without our community support.
What types of things do you need volunteers to do?
Most of the folks that are in the shelter at Genesis Home are young people that are of school age, and so it's not too early to be thinking about back to school right now, and so a lot of our volunteers work with our school-age kids, helping them make sure that they're staying at grade level, that they're on track to succeed. We have an ongoing need for volunteers to kind of help us get rooms ready for new families, to do projects around the shelter. So, we have a website at www.genesishome.org that has a Get Involved link, and that has a lot of great ideas for how folks can help us out and help our families.
You said you have a waiting list, so what's happening with those people who are waiting?
A lot of families are unstably housed, so it's very common with families that they're in a double-up situation with other friends or family until they can have a more stable housing arrangement, and so that's very common for families to be doubled up before they come to Genesis Home.
Wow, well, this was great information. Thank you so much for sharing.
It's a pleasure.
By the way, Wheels for Hope placed 3 vehicles with people referred from Genesis Home. If you can help, donate your old vehicle to Wheels for Hope. You can call them at 919-832-1941.